Hello and welcome everyone back to Beyond the Boundary, the first episode of 2025 of Beyond the Boundary. And we hope that everyone is looking forward to lots and lots of good things to happen to everyone in this new year. So, here's wishing everyone a very, very happy new year from everybody here on Beyond the Boundary Times of India Sports, the YouTube channel. And we hope that this year we're going to get you some fantastic action, a lot of analysis, and a lot of interesting stuff probably that you may not be knowing about. But as we enter the new year, as we enter 2025, all eyes are on the Sydney cricket ground where the last test of this Border-Gavaskar Trophy will be played, where Australia have taken a lead of 2-1 and a very decisive, very interesting kind of a lead after their victory at, MCG. And then a lot has happened. Can you believe that we had a last show on the 31st, the last day of 2024, and we had a recap of 2024, all the good things, bad things that have happened in Indian cricket. And here we are in the new year, and the Indian cricket team is faced with n number of issues. Mijit Ramaswamy, what's the good news for Indian cricket? We'll quickly tell you. First of all, wishing you a very, very happy new year. And so to talk about all the news that's happening around, let's welcome our panelists. And we have a very, very interesting group of friends who are going to join me. Let's welcome K. Srinivas Rao to the party, first of all. Srini, welcome to the party.
Yes, quite an eventful day. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, you in the yellow jersey and I'm in the blue jersey. Definitely a lot to talk about. Okay, so let's also welcome Saurabh Somani and Chandresh Narayanan to the party because they have something. Saurabh, hi, welcome. Chandresh, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. Thanks
Yes,
a lot.
and to add to the spice and to add to a lot of things, I have my mate all the way from Sydney. We also have Sahil Malhotra joining us, and it's quite late there. Mate, how are you there? All well?
All well, Pankaj. A very happy new year to everyone. Welcome to Chandresh making his debut for TY. And good to have everyone here. Familiar faces now returning and chatting and discussing and debating cricket. Good fun, good fun.
Exactly. Lots of fun. So let's start with the biggest news of the day. Friends, a lot has been happening since the last 24 hours at Sydney. Tomorrow, what's going to happen? So the next 24 hours are also going to be very, very important for India because India down 2-1 in this series and there is something brewing. I'd like to start with K. Srinivas Rao. I think we need to start with something that is brewing right now. The biggest news, in fact, Mithil also asked what's the news for India. He did ask for the good news. But Rohit Sharma is not going to be part of the playing 11 tomorrow. It's big. It's big. Now, has he been dropped? Or has he opted out? Now, we did report about this because we have been keeping a very, very close watch on this. And we did speak about this in the show. I think on the 30th of December, we did the show, Sahil. And Srini, I think we did mention that something like this might happen. And Srini, you are quite confident that he has to kind of stand out. And Rohit Sharma decided to retire after SCG. Shouldn't he be saying goodbye? That is what Sahil had mentioned. That is what Srinivas had mentioned. Srini, let me start with you. How do you look at it? Has he been dropped? Has he opted out? But this was something that was about to happen.
See, had he kind of had this realization come to him ahead of the MCG test, ahead of the Boxing Day test, I would have still believed if somebody would have told me Rohit Sharma is waiting to opt out. The fact that he chose to kind of push himself into the playing 11 in Melbourne, at the cost of disturbing the opening pair and then kind of causing a total imbalance in the middle order. Whereby Shubman, see, Shubman, at least in the Adelaide test, day and night test match, Shubman had some runs to show, vis-a-vis the kind of form that Rohit was coming back with. So if all of that had to be taken into perspective, then probably I would believe that had he dropped himself ahead, had he kind of opted out of ahead of the Boxing Day test match, I would have believed in that word opting out, which you're asking. But today, the word to use is dropped, and rightly so, and thankfully so. This is not no more about series. The series can come later. This is about firstly and frankly doing the right thing. You really don't belong. And see, nothing about what I'm doing or what I'm saying right now takes away anything from Rohit, the cricketer that he's been. You're still who you are. I mean, just because you don't belong in the playing 11 today doesn't mean that you are a lesser cricketer.
Right.
Anybody for that matter, in India in the past. At some point they have stopped belonging to Team India. There are greater cricketers than Rohit who have won these colors and won the Indian Test fights, and they have gone on and have phased out. When their time has come. It's not like they've become lesser human beings, right?
Correct.
Same stands true for Rohit. So people tend to kind of, I know there's a lot at stake for cricketer, and they have these Twitter trolls. They have to maintain all this. They have to do all this, in today's day and time to maintain their so-called brand, entities. But having said that, cutting through all the clutter, just going by what is at stake, the series, the game, the team combination, etc. Rohit Sharma does not belong in this playing 11 period, and it is appalling. I think some people on our show have mentioned it before, and I'm sure it will be
Yes.
discussed again today. It's absolutely appalling that every time Rohit has to come up for discussion, somebody has to bring in Virat also. So, as we set the tempo for today's discussion, I'm hoping that's not the case. If we are discussing Rohit or we're discussing Virat, they're not the same issue at all. At all. I think Pankaj. Everybody else can hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
we can, we can.
I think we have
Yeah.
lost Pankaj.
No,
Pankaj has
Yeah.
taken a
yeah.
long cinematic pause.
No, he's Pankaj, you're mute.
Intermission.
Hello, can you hear me?
He's
Yes,
mute.
I think I'm back.
You can
I mean, just
give the old DD line. रुकावट के लिए खेद है.
Yeah, we should put it. Don't worry, I'm back with just a technical snack that happens. If a technical snack can happen in the Indian cricket team, I think we are all allowed to do that. But coming to the point that KSR made, we have Awad sending a message. Ayush asking. In fact, Awad is asking that vice captain कौन होगा? पहले captain उसके बारे में बात करेंगे, playing 11 के बारे में बात करेंगे. Kuldeep, Indrajit, Sharan, Mijit, everyone, and they're all fans of all of you. And I think that's the best part about Beyond the Boundary because we get best of the best. But Saurabh coming, this is something really interesting. And I think what Sai was also sending us the reports throughout the day, Saurabh. We were like kind of realizing कि in fact गौतम गंभीर का प्रेस रिलीज हुआ उसके बाद वो जाके बात कर रहे हैं कंधे पे हाथ है हाथ मिलाया गिल से बुमराह is there. So I mean it was in the offing. But then now suddenly, would you think that Rohit Sharma should have come in the third test after recovering completely and then doing this rather than coming in the second and then opting out of the last or getting dropped in the last?
No. I mean, I think he had recovered completely. He didn't have an injury, right? He was just at home for the birth of his child, and so it's not like he needed something to recover from. He was ready and fit for the second test, and at that point, before the Adelaide test, even I would have said that bringing Rohit Sharma into the team makes India a better team. Makes India a better team than, because Rohit Sharma, you have to remember that his fall, it has been a very steep fall. I mean, his numbers are pretty dire in this series, but just before the home season that began with the Bangladesh test, I mean, his bad form in test matches has begun from there. Just before that, till then, for 4.5 years, in March, if you had said pick a World 11, Rohit Sharma would have been one of your openers in the World 11. Because he had that kind of form for 4.5 years. In fact, I was looking at the stats. He averaged 50 plus in those 4.5 years as an opener. He started opening in 2019. So till the end of the England series at home that India had, which ended in March, he was averaging 50 plus as an opener. Whereas in the tests that Rohit Sharma had played, other openers were averaging 37.8. So he was considerably better than the others in the same conditions. And opener to opener, you can actually compare like for like. But what has happened since the Bangladesh series is there has been such a drastic fall that it was, I think, inevitable that these sort of questions and issues would come up at some point. Now, if India was leading 2-1 in the series, it might still have been okay. but if India is down 1-2 and we need to win the next test to hold on to the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, then you have to basically select the 11 that gives you the best chance of winning. And if Rohit Sharma is not part of that 11, he's not part of that 11. That's a very tough conversation, I'm sure, that had to be had. And I'm sure from Rohit's point of view, see, every great player has become great by also believing that they are better than the rest. And that belief will not just go away just because of a few bad series. Because they have to continue to believe that, right? They have to believe that they are the best, and that is how they have got success. That's not a switch that you can just turn off. It's a way of thinking that has been there since probably Rohit Sharma was 10 years old and beating guys and in his age group. So he will still believe that he belongs in the Indian 11, I'm sure, which is his right to believe that. But objectively speaking, yeah, it does appear that he should not be in that 11 on current form.
Correct. Ujjwal Maurya says hi to Chandresh, and let's move to Chandresh quickly because the whole point is Rohit Sharma has been dropped. A lot of things have been happening, and we'll also look for certain things. कि पहले कब ऐसा हुआ था जब कैप्टन ने खुद को ड्रॉप कराया था, blah blah blah, and all those things. But I think now, Chandresh, the toughest job right now is for Gautam Gambhir because he said yes, we are going to have a look at the wicket tomorrow, and then we'll see because he was also. I mean, he's the coach. I mean, do you think it is the most difficult situation for Gautam Gambhir right now, or has Gambhir not been able to kind of marshal this particular set of resources in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy?
Hi, Pankaj, thanks a lot. I think it's been total confusion, and Gautam Gambhir is partially responsible for the situation that he is in. For him to say, and I'm sure that people like Sahil in that press conference in Sydney would have been in a state of shock when the head coach turns up and says, when repeatedly being asked whether the captain will be in the 11, he's saying, we look at the pitch. What kind of message are you sending out as a team to Australia that we are in a state of chaos and confusion? I mean, I've never seen anything like this ever. Probably 2005, Greg Chappell did something similar with Saurav, but didn't carry it out with Saurav. And we know what happened. So Srini, myself, we had a field day at that time as a reporter. Now, people like Gambhir are making me think that maybe I should return to active reporting because he's creating all the situation for people like me to return and come back and report, because this is utter chaos, confusion. What's been happening in the last 24 to 36 hours has been nothing short of comical. This is total poor management. And I think this is an absolute disastrous result for Indian Test cricket. T20, I think India is sorted. ODI squad is also pretty much sorted because from tomorrow, if this news holds, from tomorrow India will have three captains: Bumrah in Test matches, Rohit in ODIs, and Surya Kumar Yadav in T20 cricket.
T20.
So technically, it all stays in Mumbai. So people like Saurabh and Sahil can forget about it, and you also, Pankaj. But I'm just saying that this whole situation has been very, very poorly managed. And I think it boils down to whether it is lack of communication, lack of coordination. If Rohit was not available for the first test match, probably he should have done what Virat did last year against England, missing out the entire series. Virat has missed 8 test matches for his 2 kids. And maybe Rohit should have taken a similar call, because what has happened is that you have been trying to fix fit Rohit in the 11, and you've been making all the changes because you couldn't drop Rohit and Virat, who are both not performing. So you dropped Shubman Gill, who has also not been performing, but we've been making changes galore because of this, and it's resulted in complete chaos, confusion, and last time India made plenty of changes in their 11 in the 2020-21 tour. That was because of injuries and other reasons.
Right.
But this is a utter nonsense. What's going on? A player leaving in the middle of the series, retiring and going. Now a captain being dropped. I don't know what's happening. This has been a tour from hell, in my view.
Unbelievable.
But for reporters, it's been a great tour.
Exactly. So, but I remember Sahil and Srini constantly mentioning that because of the senior players, it's weighing down on the entire team. So, what is the future for Rohit Sharma? Sahil, you have been there. I'm sure you must have had a field day while the press conference was going on. Did you feel that discomfort with Gautam Gambhir when being asked again and again? And you also have seen how was the practice session as far as Shubman Gill is concerned? Because now he's likely to come for Rohit Sharma. So, how was your field day?
No, it was fun, yaar. I woke up speaking to both Srini and Chandresh at the same time. They weren't sleeping then. So मेरे दिन का शुरुआत पहले श्रीनी से बात करके हुआ, फिर Chandresh and me were exchanging messages early in the morning Australian time, and we're discussing about what could happen, what has been happening, chatter and all that jazz. But the moment the press conference was delayed by half an hour, again typical Indian press conference, आधा घंटा Pat Cummins dot 10:30 बजे आकर बैठ जाता है. But हमारे भाई लोग हमें टाइम भी बताते हैं सुबह. तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जिस दिन होना है उस दिन हमें टाइम पता चलता है प्रेशर है कितने बजे, क्योंकि हम तो एकदम आए हैं ना बोरिया बिस्तरा लेके बैठे रहेंगे एससीजी में, तो हमें 1:15 के प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का 10:30-11 बजे मैसेज आता है, और वो भी टेंटेटिव टाइम आता है कि बी अराउंड द प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, हम 1 से
अच्छा।
1:15 के बीच में करेंगे। वो प्रेस
ठीक है।
कॉन्फ्रेंस 1:45 बजे होता है और हम लोग सारे दरवाजों पर निगाह लगाए बैठे हैं। 2 कुर्सी जैसी मैंने पीछे देखा तो मेरे को लगा आज बम एक और आने वाला है। 2 चेयर्स और बिहाइंड द टेबल, कि मैं कहा ये 2 चेयर लास्ट ब्रिस्बेन में लगा था जब अश्विन आया था, बट
Right.
आज गंभीर आया, and it took Gambhir nearly 2 months to attend a press conference, and first press conference on Australian soil since that presser in the departure press conference November 11th, जहां वो रिकी पॉन्टिंग वाला कोट दिया गया, उसके बाद से गंभीर को कन्वीनियंटली छुपा दिया गया, बिल्कुल एक्सपोज नहीं किया गया ऑस्ट्रेलियन मीडिया के आगे। और आज हमें पता था कि गंभीर आएंगे तो ये लोग बैठे हुए हैं चाबी भरने के लिए, और पहला दूसरा सवाल ही रोहित के ऊपर आया और बहुत क्लियर और आई थिंक बहुत स्पष्ट सवाल था। और जैसा चंद्रेश ने कहा, आई थिंक it was kind of funny, yaar, the arrogance with which Gambhir responded, that as I said we'll take a call, when we look at the pitch. Boss, he's asking about the captain, he's not asking about any Tom, Dick and Harry in the 11. वो मतलब नीतीश रेड्डी, सुंदर, शुभमन गिल का बात नहीं कर रहा, कप्तान का बात कर रहा है। तो वहां क्लियरिटी देने में आपको क्या था, और वो क्लियरिटी ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आपने, जैसा मैंने वो वीडियो डाला, वो वीडियो आपको कहीं दिखेगा नहीं, आपको टीओआई पे दिखेगा, आपको जसप्रीत बुमराह आते हुए दिखते हैं, गौतम गंभीर आते हुए दिख रहे हैं, एकदम सिनेमा, ये एकदम यशराज का मूवी चला आज सिडनी क्रिकेट ग्राउंड पे। जिस तरीके से आज गौतम गंभीर आए, शुभमन गिल के साथ फिस्ट पंप किया, पैट ऑन द बैक, जसप्रीत बुमराह वॉक्स इन, शेक्स हिज हैंड, रोहित शर्मा इज स्टैंडिंग इन अ कॉर्नर विद वॉशिंगटन सुंदर, मतलब ये सब हुआ, तो इसके अंदर ऐसा तो नहीं था ना, यू डिसाइडेड ऑन द ईव ऑफ द मैच, and I don't know, it is my theory, it is how I connect these dots. When Rohit Sharma came for his last press conference at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, again very unexpected, I thought वहां पे तो कोच को भेज दोगे, क्योंकि हम रोहित लिख के बोर हो गए थे यार, कितना 25 प्रेशर करा दिया होगा रोहित का भी, मैच से पहले रोहित, मैच के बाद रोहित, जब कोई नहीं मिला रोहित को लाके बिठा दो। जब रोहित चल के आ रहे थे, एमसीजी का प्रेशर सौरभ, श्रीनी और चंद्रेश को पता रहेगा, वो चेंज रूम एकदम बाजू में है प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस एरिया के। तो व्हेन रोहित वाज कमिंग आउट, जो बीसीसीआई की सोशल मीडिया टीम है, the camera was freezed on Rohit, so they were probably recording what was his last press conference for the Indian cricket team. So people had those hints. There were conversations. It's not something which happened overnight. And we wrote for TOI.com 30th December ko, ki why even wait for SCG? Does he deserve that spot in the playing 11? That's precisely what has happened. Rested, not considered, opt out. Let's stop sugarcoating what's happening. He's been dropped. He has been woefully out of form. 5 innings, 31 runs. You can't hide your face anywhere. You lost 3 test matches at home to New Zealand. Tactical blunders as captain. You were found wanting. You were in a hopeless and hapless situation for plenty of times in the series. So there's no way how to put it. And I think dropped is the only word, and that remains the key word. No matter how much you sugarcoat it or इसको जितना मर्जी फ्लारी लैंग्वेज में लिख दो, ड्रॉप हो गया, रोहित नहीं खेल रहा, रोहित का लास्ट टेस्ट एमसीजी में हो गया। 10 साल पहले एमएस धोनी के साथ ऐसा हुआ था। अब बहुत लोग फेयरवेल टेस्ट मांग रहे हैं, बहुत बड़े बड़े प्लेयर का फेयरवेल टेस्ट नहीं हुआ। और आज मैं गंभीर को पूछा यही सवाल, गंभीर हैज बीन अ मास्टर ऑफ ट्रांजिशन यार, मतलब गंभीर जब खिलाड़ी था उसको ट्रांजिशन दिया गया, जब वो कैप्टन था उसने रजत भाटिया, मिथुन मनास, वीरेंद्र सहवाग, इन एजिंग सुपरस्टार्स को दिल्ली ड्रेसिंग रूम से हटा के नीतीश राणा, उन्मुख चंद, नवदीप सैनी को लेके आया। अब वो एज अ कोच ट्रांजिशन कैसे करेगा, वो ऐसे करेगा। आई थिंक ही इज वेरी क्लियर इन हिज हेड, it's just that he did not get that freedom to exercise authority which he should have got much earlier. Now he is taking those calls. Ashwin is gone, Gambhir is gone, Ashwin is gone, Rohit is gone, Virat and Jadeja will be next, but there's still time for that.
Correct. Very interesting point that you mentioned in the way of Gautam Gambhir operates. Ayush Jindal is talking about your one-on-one conversation with Punk. We'll of course take on that. But Shri, now we need to kind of move ahead. ठीक है, अब तो big news हो चुकी है. Also kind of an issue as far as the expressions that Gautam Gambhir gets or the communication skills probably need to improve. We don't know about it. But the fact remains that now a lot of viewers are also asking what will be the playing 11 for India, probable playing 11 for the SCG. Because there's also, for example, Rohit Sharma जा रहे हैं तो शुभमन गिल आ जाएंगे, लेकिन आकाशदीप भी injured है. So that's another big news, Srini. So अच्छा, there are two things again. People will also start talking कि इतना सब change मत करो, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत चेंज तो करना ही पड़ेगा. It's a very dicey situation. Do you see lock, stock, barrel changes tomorrow in the playing 11? And what's your reading of the pitch at the SCG? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. लॉक स्टॉक बैरल चेंजेस के लिए तो स्पेस ही नहीं है, इतना आप क्या चेंज कर लोगे?
नहीं क्योंकि नहीं,
now
so
that
okay, just to quickly, Rohit, Akashdeep, and would you also go for Siraj? Because Pant, again, there are questions that Pant should also not be in the playing 11.
no, so see, one sec, Akashdeep is an injury, right? And
Yeah.
that's been said by Gautam in the press conference, right?
Right.
And Rohit is not going to play, so that kind of obviously brings KL back in the opening slot and moves brings Shubman back at number 3. So I think the rest of the kind of the lineup kind of plays itself out. Now, here is what I'm getting a feeling. Mm. A lot has been said on Mohammad Siraj about Mohammad
Huh.
Siraj. He's not been in the same in, but I think with the kind of stress that Jasprit Bumrah has already taken so far in the series, 4 Test matches. I didn't see the whole video, but there was a small video doing the rounds. I think during the Boxing Day Test match where I think Jasprit Bumrah tells something to Rohit on the lines that yaar ab nahi mujhe break chahiye. I don't know if it's a real video or it was a
Yeah,
mock one.
it's a real video. It's a real video.
Okay, because these days you don't know what to believe. But I remember seeing that video, and if there's anything to go by, then I would suggest that you need Mohammad Siraj in the lineup. You cannot afford to drop him. Between Harshit Rana and Prasidh Krishna, I will take a call.
Okay.
And that call totally depends on who is bowling how in the nets. And I'm sure Sahil has been at the nets. He's been covering. I think on that front, Sahil will be able to take a better call. I'm willing to take another punt in this lineup. I'm saying if Gautam Gambhir is taking calls, if Gautam Gambhir's word is actually now beginning to be the last word in that dressing room, then there is a chance that Dhruv Jurel can play.
Interesting.
If Gautam Gambhir is taking those calls in the dressing room, I'm
Srini, you're saying you're not taking punt on Pant, but you're taking punt on Jurel.
Yeah, I'm not dropping punt.
Oh, तो फिर किसको देगा पर? Because
number
Sydney
4
again very spinning. Generally a spin friendly track where you normally try to play couple of this. This is very interesting.
I don't think given the conditions today morning, I was talking to Sahil. I was asking him what is the weather like in Sydney, and he said it's overcast. Am I right? That's what he said, right? It's overcast.
Yeah, it was not
it's
a single
overcast,
ray of
and
sunlight.
if the conditions are like that, if it is really overcast and there's no sun likely to be out, and there is a threat of rain, he said on the 4th day or on the 5th day also.
4th and 5th day, both days.
There you go. So I'm not going to take a risk and play 2 spinners here. There's no sense in playing 2 spinners. I am going to go with 2 pacers with a proper pace attack and add another batter.
Okay, so Saurabh, do you know the display is in front of us, and then we're going to move to something really very interesting, कहानी में twist type of thing, which has also happened. But if you look at number 3, Gill आपका आ जाएंगे, तो वो कोई problem नहीं है. Number 10 पे आप हर्षित को या because I remember most of us we were also discussing कि Prasidh Krishna in the nets also hasn't really been that. Has he recovered completely? Is he in the best of form? We really don't know. तो the तीसरा पेसर कौन लेंगे? और जैसे श्रीनी कह रहे हैं कि और साहिल भी बता रहे हैं कि because it's slightly overcast, you may not go with 2 spinners, but Jadeja and Sundar have done the needful in the last few matches.
No, they have done the needful with the bat.
but not कोई नहीं खेल रहा तो एटलीस्ट कम से कम किया तो सही
नहीं अभी देखो you have to win the test. To win the test you need 20 wickets. You pick the bowling attack that will give you 20 wickets and then you pick the best batsman that you can. So bowling attack that will give you 20 wickets. I agree completely with Srini that I don't think there's room for 2 spinners. SCG track, I think it's a very different track than what it used to be when Tendulkar and Lakshman made all their hundreds there. Because of the drop-in pitches that Australia have used, I think all of the Australian pitches have tilted more towards seam now. Even the traditional ones, even MCG we saw. MCG was, there was hardly anything for the spinners to do for most of the game.
Correct.
So I think SCG maybe 3 pacers are needed, and 2 spinners I don't think are needed. Now, if you value Washington Sundar's batting a lot, then I see. You can make another radical call and pick him ahead of Ravindra Jadeja because. You can because.
So what you're saying, Saurabh, is boils down to between Sundar and Jadeja.
Jadeja.
Yeah, because I think you have to pick the bowling attack that gives you 20 wickets. And I don't think a bowling attack that has both of them is one that is a defensive bowling attack that is aimed at, giving you more runs, not giving you more wickets.
So you're saying you'll take Harshit Rana at number as the third pacer?
No, Prasidh or Harshit, that depends on who has been bowling better in the nets and who has been, in better rhythm. I think, yeah, as Shini said, again, Sahil will might be in a better place to judge that. If they've allowed him to see the net, sometimes the Indian team doesn't
Right.
allow you to.
Right
So-
behind the batter. मैं लड़ जाता हूँ, झगड़ जाता हूँ, spot नहीं छोड़ता मैं.
बस
ये
बस
अच्छी बात है.
then-
But Saurabh, still, I mean,
हाँ.
if you take Harshit or Prasidh and Shubman Gill भी आ रहे हैं, तो
Okay,
Sundar
so
और Jadeja को भी
so
आप
stop
accommodate
the
कर लोगे.
press, stop the show. It's starting to drizzle down now. अब हल्का हल्का बूंदाबांदी शुरू हो गया.
Oh, आप
So yeah,
आप
let's
इंतजाम-
let's
आप
let's
चाहते हैं
continue
इंतजाम
now.
करो. But so again, Saurabh, before I come to
हाँ.
Saurabh, Chandresh and Sahil for the big kahani mein twist, you can still accommodate Sundar and Jadeja if we take Harshit Rana and Gill.
Will Jadeja give you a better chance of taking wickets, or will Prasidh and Jadeja give you a better chance of taking wickets, or Prasidh and Harshit? So if Prasidh and Harshit will give you a better chance of taking 20 wickets, go with that. I mean, you have to go all out, right? You have to win this test. Abhi, it's like MS Dhoni said, na, you die, you don't see which is the better way to die. So if whether you lose 2-1 or 3-1, you lose. So abhi, the only thing is you have to win. So
Yeah.
to win, you have to take 20 wickets. Bas, so which bowling attack will give you the best chance of taking 20 wickets? Go with that one.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, this conversation I thought would be very
Having-
linear, but yet, yeah, Srini.
Having said that, I totally agree with what Saurabh says, that, and I'm a strong believer in also the fact that, as much as you want that attack which can pick those 20 wickets, you need to have a batting lineup that can put enough runs on board, that can give the bowlers the kind of
Yeah,
vision
need
that is
to.
required.
So
to
basically,
prove those
basically,
Right?
basically
I agree.
Srini-
There
No,
has
no,
to
but
be a
basically
balance in that.
Srini is batting for conflict of interest. He's batting for Nitish Kumar Reddy.
Nitish Kumar Reddy is a no-brainer, right? I mean, he's the
Acha,
first
नहीं,
player
acha.
to list.
लेकिन
But I'm not
No,
saying
no,
anything.
Nitish-
It's just
I have
the
no
catch is in
conflict
the
of interest,
surname.
but Nitish is no-brainer for me also. वो तो
नहीं, नहीं,
होने
नहीं,
का ही
नहीं.
है.
That was because we were not counting Nitish Reddy's bowling in this whole scenario. हम लोग वो 5 वगैरह calculation कर रहे थे. So there
For
it
you,
becomes very
Sundar was
interesting.
also no-brainer, Saurabh, because you're in a place very close to where Sundar comes from.
Okay, now so Chandresh
We have
and
to
Sahil.
know. अभी चंद्रेश ने हमको हटा दिया, बोला कि सब बॉम्बे से. जसप्रीत बुमराह गुजरात का है, पर उसने मुंबई इंडियंस का
बॉम्बे
बना
कर
के ले
दिया,
लिया.
वो continuity
नहीं,
से
वो
बॉम्बे
बॉम्बे
कर
पे
दिया.
ले लिया.
नहीं तो मराठी माणूस है. तो मराठी माणूस है. Sorry. नहीं. But let's now come to the biggest कहानी में twist. Yeah, Srini, you have something?
No, I was just saying that you see, you've taken the call to drop Rohit, okay? Now and you've given Shubman back that slot which was more or less rightfully his in the current scheme of things. It was rightfully his, right? Now you expect this kind of you got to kind of allow this batting lineup to put those runs on board. See, the only way, and you have 5 days. I mean, it's become too much of a thing that with test matches not lasting 5 days. If weather allows and if test match lasts total of 5 days, you're not really seeing through those 5 into 3 sessions if you don't really have enough batters of quality to put those runs on board. You do need it. It's extremely kind of crucial there. From that standpoint, I think I would like to believe that this guy, see, Sundar and Nitish Kumar Reddy both were there. Both really didn't do a lot of bowling, right, in the Boxing Day Test match.
Yes.
Right, so you can afford to probably take a call of pursuing it one between the two of them. And so in that case, does Sundar the spinner add anything extra in these conditions, or would you like to go with a proper batter who can guarantee you another 50 runs on the board? I'm just thinking aloud. I'm just kind of being a bit vocal here. So on that front, I'm saying that it'll be a very enticing thing for Gautam. To kind of take that call that he could go in with 4 pacers, 1 spinner, and then kind of just bolster the batting lineup. And that 4
Correct.
pacers would include Nitish.
That's the whole point. And in fact,
Good
Kiran Kumar
infield,
says,
Nitish.
yes,
So
Kiran
let's
Kumar.
say, let's look at it one this way: a batting all rounder in Nitish Kumar Reddy, 3 pacers, and 1 bowling all rounder in or whatever all rounder that Ravindra Jadeja is. Sometimes he comes across as a bowling all rounder, sometimes he comes across as a batting all
You
Arey,
rounder.
should probably clip
speak-
this and send it to Ravindra Jadeja.
Yes,
Then we'll have 2 people from Bombay to look forward to.
And I think, but you're considering a 3D player into something like that, and he's a multi-dimensional player. But coming back, let's come to Chandresh and Sahil, because I wanted to ask about this, because ये एक question भी था कि who's good now with Virat now or not the captain. He's been dropped. Bumrah will be the captain. Suddenly कहानी में twist आता है Chandresh, and एक नाम आ जाता है विराट कोहली का for captaincy. I mean ये कहाँ से मतलब उत्पन्न हुआ? I was really मतलब ये क्या? Is it for this series or is it for who will? For example, I was going to ask the question: who will lead India after the Border-Gavaskar Trophy?
Pankaj,
Yeah.
just very quickly, if we can get rid of this graphic, I just wanted to make a point just to confuse everyone again.
Okay.
Because
come
we
on.
were thinking on those lines, okay? Just let's get rid of the graphics, okay? Let's have the talking heads on top. So today something very interesting happened, okay? And now I'm like connecting the dots because Srini planted that thought in my head again when I start to connect what happened in the net. Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant were batting in tandem, okay? And they had extended net sessions with the bat together, both of them. Rishabh Pant was the only keeper out of the two who did keeping drills. So right now, when Srini is speaking, when I'm thinking about those lines, what happened in the net session, I wouldn't be surprised if Dhruv Jurel plays just as a specialist batter. जहाँ पे बात हो रहा था कि ऋषभ और दोनों में से शायद एक खेलेगा, वॉशी से जो आज रोहित का कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ, उसका कुछ सिग्निफिकेंस था. Washington Sundar and Rohit Sharma had a long chat in the dressing room. This was before all the drama unfolded with Gill. So was Rohit telling Washi why there is a possibility that you could be sitting out of this game? Now, why I say that also because
He's saying
Nathan Lyon was quiet for the first 3 tests. In Melbourne, because you had so many left-handers, even Travis Head and Nathan Lyon in tandem, there was a passage of play where Australia chad gaya tha India pe. So many left-handers, Nathan Lyon all of a sudden becomes a different beast altogether. If you get in a Dhruv Jurel, you continue with that left-right obsession with Gambhir has been carrying ever since his Delhi Ranji Trophy days, right? So Dhruv Jurel as a pure bat, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Primarily because Dhruv Jurel didn't have the big gloves on today. It was only Rishabh Pant who was doing keeping drills. But Dhruv Jurel had a long hit in the nets and a long chat with Gautam Gambhir the moment his batting got over. And before that, Rohit Sharma and Washington Sundar were chatting a lot, and it was just not clearly. It didn't look like कि रोहित उसको जाके बता रहा है कि भाई मैं कल का मैच नहीं खेलने वाला. So I'm sure
रोहित कह रहा होगा मैं नहीं खेल रहा, मैं नहीं खेल रहा.
मतलब they could be planning to go to Bondi Beach together tomorrow once the match starts.
So
because both are not playing then in that case. But the thing is that you spoke about left and right combination. You already have Gill possibly coming into the lineup. You have Rahul, you have Virat, you have Nitish Kumar Reddy already there, right-hander. So you have the right number of right-handers already.
But Chandresh भाई इसके अंदर प्रॉब्लम ये है ना रोहित जगह छोड़ता है, सॉरी ना विराट 4 से 5 होता है, ना गिल 3 से 4 होगा. प्रॉब्लम फंसता है आपका लोअर ऑर्डर के अंदर, एक ग्रुपिंग हो जाता है लेफ्ट हैंडर्स का, जडेजा, ऋषभ पंत, वॉशिंगटन सुंदर. सो यू हैव टू डील विद 3 लेफ्ट हैंडर्स. पहले तो बीच में एक अश्विन घुसा देते थे आप ऊपर नीचे लेफ्ट राइट करने के लिए. अभी वो कैसे करोगे? देन नेथन लायन विद द ओल्ड बॉल विद द पिच, अगर ठीक है बेक करता है सन के अंडर, पिच हल्का सा भी टूटा तो नेथन लायन ट्रेविस हेड टैंडम में बॉल. मैं जस्ट एक क्रिकेटिंग लॉजिक अटैच कर रहा हूं.
वो ब्रेक करने के लिए आप नीतीश कुमार रेड्डी को आगे भेज दो ना. मतलब
वो नहीं भेजेंगे ना, वो कहां भेजते हैं ये? उनको तो लगता है
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में है कि वो नंबर 8 पे आएंगे.
No, but Sahil, you have given us a very interesting point. So Pant should play, Jurel should play, and Jadeja should play.
Good play. I'm just like wildly thinking कि आप नेथन लायन को क्यों एक्टिव कर रहे हो यार? आपने मेलबर्न में उसको जगा दिया. वो पहले 3 टेस्ट में कहीं दिख भी नहीं रहा था. All of a sudden you could see Nathan Lyon playing a part and relieving Mitchell. अभी Mitchell Starc का ribs अभी भी sore है. He'll be probably playing with a couple of injections there. यार. He's still sore. He'll be pushing through this test. So you also have to keep that in mind, and that is why Australia bolstered their bowling by getting in Bew Webster, because Mitchell Marsh has been crap with the bat and ball. So Australia के mind में वो है. So आप वो Nathan Lyon को आप हटा सकते हो ना.
Yeah, but that's so. We are going to talk about the Australian playing 11 also. But quickly, Dheeraj Madhu says Pant's presence at the crease is very important. He gets into the Australian heads. ऐसा तो मेलबर्न में दिखा नहीं. But anyways, जो भी है. But Chandresh, I mean, Sahil, you also need to come in later on with this. कि विराट का नाम अचानक से how did it start doing rounds?
ये तो कल से हो रहा है, जब से वो गौतम गंभीर ने पता नहीं किस स्टाइल में कहा बहुत हो गया. मतलब साहिल बेहतर बता सकता है कि एक्चुअली कैसे बोला उसने ड्रेसिंग रूम में. वो सिर्फ वो बोला या कुछ और बोला. उसके बाद से ये चल रहा है. उसके बाद से ये चल रहा है कि विराट, मतलब अब तक मुझे पता नहीं वो क्या है, वो डॉक्टर फिक्सेट मिस्टर फिक्स कुछ तो है वो, और दूसरा है 2 और प्लेयर्स है जो कैप्टन बनना चाहते हैं, वो भी मुझे पता नहीं है. इस दौरे पर मतलब ऐसे शर्लॉक होम्स बन के आ गए हैं. आखिर रिटायर हुआ क्यों, आखिर ड्रॉप क्यों हुआ, आखिर कप्तान कौन बनेगा, ये सब बस ये मतलब यही हो रहा है मेरे ख्याल से. आई थिंक दिस इज अ ट्रिब्यूट टू सीआईडी रिटर्निंग टू आवर स्क्रीन्स.
I love that. I just love it. Well, it's like whoever that Hariram Nai is, who probably came and said, आपको आपको पता है ड्रेसिंग रूम में क्या हुआ. ये आया और कहा बहुत हो गया और फिर चला गया. मतलब उसके बाद कुछ तो बोला है ना कि आपने एक रसगुल्ला खाया और फिर गौतम गंभीर ने बोला बहुत हो गया दूसरा नहीं खाएगा. लाइक कुछ तो ऐसे होगा ना कि बहुत हो गया दूसरा रसगुल्ला नहीं खाओगे. समथिंग. I found it very weird that
और एक बात है,
बहुत हो गया नहीं चला गया कुछ.
और एक बात है, कल ये भी आया शाम को पीटीआई पे कुछ था कि गौतम गंभीर और कम्युनिकेशन कुछ नहीं हो रहा. तो आज साहिल जैसे जो समाज के ठेकेदार है उनको दिखाने के लिए दे स्पोक अ लॉट इन पब्लिक. देखो हमारे बीच में कम्युनिकेशन बहुत हो रहा है, हम एक दूसरे को मतलब एज एन वी आर जीइंग ईच अदर अप, वी आर टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर, टेक दैट करके, मतलब ऐसा बोल के वो लोग सबको दिखाते हुए कर रहे थे. ये सब आपको मतलब बंद कमरों में करना चाहिए. बाहर आके आप सबके सामने कर रहे हो मतलब बिना मतलब का ड्रामा, ये फालतू.
नहीं,
और ये सब कल 2 स्टोरी आने की वजह से हो रहा है. आज और एक स्टोरी आया टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया के पेपर में आया. तो मतलब ये सब
कि हमारे ड्रेसिंग रूम में बगावत, यानी कि that kind of a scenario happening. But now let's move ahead on this, and now let us talk about, do we still have an opportunity or any such scenario as far as the WTC is concerned? हमने कल के मैच के बारे में बताया, just around under 12 hours to start Australian time. But what are the WTC scenarios? भाई मेरे, आप तो वो तो बता दो.
WTC तो India has to live on a hope and a prayer, that first of all you have to win Sydney, and then you have to hope that Sri Lanka beats I think must win the 5th test, and then hope that Australia can't win any test. That's what I said. I hope that Sri Lanka beat Australia. I think I read in TOI today that Pat Cummins is not going to Sri Lanka. तो वो हो रहा है, तो that is at least one small tick in favor of India. चंद्रेश
WTC के लिए सिर्फ एक चीज करना है इंडिया को. Someone from the selection committee or the coaching staff has to fly to Colombo and treat Prabhat Jayasuriya to the best possible dinner. Because he's the only hope for India right now.
He is. No, वैसे उनके बैट्समैन भी थोड़े टैलेंट दिखा रहे हैं, तो hopefully they can do something.
टीम अच्छा है और गड्ढा खोद देंगे गोल में, वो गोल गड्ढा खोद देंगे.
गड्ढा खोद दें तो then there is a chance.
नहीं गड्ढा खोदेंगे तो श्रीनी और साहिल गड्ढा खोदेंगे तो फिर अपना मार्नस लाबुशेन और स्टीव स्मिथ सडनली स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट.
अभी मार्नस लाबुशेन तो बाउंसर बॉल कर रहा है ना, वो लेग स्पिन भूल गया शायद, उसको बाउंसर बॉल कर रहा है. Did you think that in a bowling attack, that in a team that has a bowling attack featuring Pat Cummins, Scott Boland, Josh Hazelwood at times, Mitchell Starc, that Marnus Labuschagne ka bouncer will be the most memorable ones?
But I feel he's a very optimistic guy. When he talks, he should. I think he's one of the cricketers who can be a broadcaster on the field. Play करते करते वो जितना बात करता है, तो he can actually do commentary also. Maybe
वो हमारा जॉब लेने आ रहा है बाद में.
नहीं तो then we'll have to start playing also. So Sahil and Chandresh, let's get ready. Saurabh, let's get ready. We'll have to play. But chalo now Chandresh, do you still see any hope for India making to the WTC finals?
I think it will be very difficult. Frankly, it will be very difficult, and they shouldn't be looking that far ahead also. पहले ये टेस्ट मैच जीत जाओ, बाकी सब चीजें बाद में. पहले ये टेस्ट मैच जीतो. 10 साल से जो प्राउड रिकॉर्ड है that Australia has not been able to beat India home or away, that has to continue. You have to somehow try and put pressure on Australia in this test match. You had a golden opportunity in Melbourne to draw the test match. You had to bat out the final session, which they should have. But I think somewhere it was a bit like the 2008 Monkey Gate test match in Sydney, but they couldn't bat out the final session. But I think this time India has to blame themselves for the position they are in. पहले दिन से पता था what are the issues, पहले दिन से पता था what are the gaps that they need to fill, but no attention was paid to any of this. That's why I was shocked that today Gautam Gambhir came and said that if anybody had told us 40-45 days ago that we'll still be in a position to level the series. Bhai Sahab, you had started the series, winning that series 295 runs. Australia had no hope in the series at that time. You have brought them back into the series, and how? Through your lethargy, nothing else.
Correct. So now this is a very interesting situation, Srini. 61.4 is the percentage right now for Australia. India with 52.7. I mean, we will need to really win big, very, very big in Sydney, and then hope that Australia will fall very, very badly in Sri Lanka. I mean, the hopes are pretty low as far as the WTC is concerned.
No, I mean, I'll stick to what Chandresh is saying. I mean, why would I worry about WTC at this point? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Whether I qualify for WTC, whether I don't qualify for WTC, doesn't make any sense to me, because right now, starting tomorrow morning in Sydney, I have the Border-Gavaskar Trophy to protect. And for
Correct.
me, given the rivalry, please listen. I mean, I'm not such a great believer in, just putting some kind of a trophy to a certain thing and then suddenly things are changing overnight. No, I mean, you still would like to follow Test cricket the way you have followed it over the years. So for you, winning a Test series in Australia is worth a WTC.
Correct.
So if you can retain the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, for me that's a joyful moment. I mean, you can do it not once, not twice, thrice. You can go to Australia. Kind of. There was a time when you went there to their prominent. The bowling attack was not at its full this thing. Then you went again. You wonder under extremely trying circumstances, and there was another time when their batters were not up to full this thing. So now you've run into a full strength Aussie squad, right? So to kind of accomplish something here and coming back would be a joy. And then Australia was a Sri Lanka. Where we can sit back home and buy some popcorn and think, अच्छा Australia उसको मारेगा, वो उसको मारेगा, तब हम का कुछ chance बनेगा. All of that can come later. Point is, right now I would worry about we doing something at the SCG. You're saving this test match by winning it, saving this
Correct.
series by winning this.
Yeah, Chandresh, I'll go to Sahil, but Chandresh.
Pankaj, just a quick point. Looking at this points thing, 2021, the WTC final, Australia missed out because of slow over rate. The previous test match, they were worried about slow over rate. That's why they brought Travis Head in. You have 4 assistant coaches plus an analyst. No one had the presence of mind to send out a message to the 2 set batters at the crease, play them out, make the
5
Aussies
overs.
wilt.
Yes.
5 overs.
Wilt.
Yeah.
They were behind the over rate, and
5
they
overs.
would have suffered with the loss of points, deduction of points. That shows the
I
lack
think
of more than lack of awareness of the batter at the crease. It's the support staff sitting in the dressing room, which needs to be asked questions about that. This situation could have been slightly different than what it is right now.
Correct. A very valid point, and I think, Sahil, it's an important point to understand that 5 overs that you're mentioning, if Rishabh Pant can do that in the T20 final by kind of slowing things, we know how to handle it. अपना पैड बदलो, अपना जूता खोलो, अपना ये खोलो, 5 ओवर का मामला हमेशा आराम से हो सकता है. But what Srini said, I would like to add, please do not buy caramel popcorn, buy normal popcorn, and then you can then sit back after the Sri Lanka series for Australia. Chandresh knows it better. But Sahil, now coming to you, in that case, you said, so Bew Webster is coming instead of Mitchell Marsh. But do you still see Mitchell Starc completely fit? And even if he's not fit, they will risk playing him and
they're
with
playing
all
him.
sorts of things.
They're playing him. They've like he has passed all the medical tests and scans and everything, but he's not 100% for sure. He's sore. He's sore in the ribs. He'll probably bowl through pain, but that's what Mitchell Starc is, यार. मतलब उसका फिंगर में स्वेलिंग रहता है वो तब भी. मतलब आज पैट कमिंस ने जो बात बोला एकदम पते का बात बोला. 15 साल से उसको निकल रहा, but 15 साल से वो 145 फेंक रहा है. That warrior in him kind of wakes up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he runs in hard tomorrow. First ball on the money, 140 plus. That's how Mitchell Starc has been. And इन लोगों ने bowling अपना tight किया. And Bew Webster is tall यार. मतलब उसको मतलब कभी भी टीवी पे देख के ना कई बार you kind of नहीं समझ आता कितना लंबा है वो. भाई बहुत लंबा है यार. नेट में कल सिंगल विकेट बॉल डाल रहा था वो, जब मार्नस बैटिंग कर रहा था साइड में, वो ही इज टॉल यार. एंड ही इज लाइक वो वर्कहॉर्स टाइप बॉलर है, और नंबर 6-7 पे आके बैटिंग भी तेज करता है, which I think is now becoming a trend in Australia. सैम कॉन्स्टास आया, उसको मारना है, कैरी नीचे मार रहा है, हेड मार रहा है,
Right.
ब्यू वेबस्टर और लेके आ गया, ये बोलता है मैं भी मारूंगा, काउंटर पंच करूंगा. तो they have their game plan sorted, unlike us. The more we discuss about WTC, I don't think we deserve to be in the final here, considering the kind of situation where we are in as a team. I think this team needs a lot of time to first gel together, get that grouping going, because last time when we returned from Australia, we were bruised. We won the series,
Yeah.
but we were bruised. Cheteshwar Pujara still remembers those bruises. But when we return from Australia this time around, we'll be scarred. ये स्कार्स जो अश्विन और रोहित के हैं, ये कभी भूले नहीं जाएंगे, क्योंकि दो ग्रेट प्लेयर्स आपके किन सर्कमस्टेंसेस में एग्जिट करे हैं. यू नो, पीपल हैव ब्लड ऑन देयर हैंड्स बॉस. मतलब ये कम्युनिकेशन क्लियरली नहीं हुआ जो होना चाहिए था. अब चाहे वो फॉर्म के चलते हो या कॉम्बिनेशन के चलते हो, जो तरीके से चीजें होनी चाहिए थी नहीं हुई. नॉट दैट इंडियन क्रिकेट में चीजें हमेशा तरीके से होती है, बट यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट देम टू डू बेटर, राइट? बट दे डिडंट. एंड व्हेन दे रिटर्न फ्रॉम दिस टूर with a lot of questions still left unanswered, I'm not really sure whether it will be the right time or right moment for them to be thinking about that WTC final. You don't deserve to be there. The kind of cricket, the shit cricket which you have played since that Bangalore game where you opted to bat first, I don't know for what joy. वहीं से ही आपके वांदे लगने शुरू हो गए थे यार. और आप अभी किसी को ब्लेम मत करो. यू आर योरसेल्फ टू ब्लेम फॉर. और मैं चंद्रेश के बात से एकदम अग्री करता हूँ. वो बात कर रहे हैं कि हम सीरीज ड्रॉ करेंगे. भाई आपने फेंटी लगाई थी टीम का पर्थ टेस्ट के अंदर, against all odds, without your captain there, Jasprit Bumrah, that magical spell on day one, evening session. From there, you gave us a reason to keep believing, to believe again that, you know, Australia is one part of the world where miracles do happen, and you'll continue giving us those miracles match after match. But suddenly, when the color of the ball changed and the captaincy armband kind of switched the biceps, things just took a turn for the south. And it
Oh,
has never
Sahil,
been the
breaking
same.
news. Breaking news. Rohit has sent us a message. Can you believe that? Rohit has sent us a message. I think it will be a draw, as there will be a washout of the fifth in Sydney.
Draw नहीं होने वाला. There will be a result. There will not be a draw.
है जिसकी हम बात कर रहे थे, पता नहीं. But anyway, Rohit, thank you very much.
Draw तो नहीं
But
होगा.
last segment, yes, Chandresh, you have to say something.
No, I'm just saying that पहली चीज साहिल ने कहा for what joy Bangalore में. There is only one joy in Bangalore. That Saurabh, Srini and I know. So maybe it's for that joy that they opted to bat first. But in the case you spoke about batters, you forgot about Cummins, Stark, and Lyon, who always
Yes.
score against India in Test cricket in Australia. Because somehow the captains of India, when they go to Australia or any other place, go to sleep when the tailender come to bat because they don't know what to do when the
96 for 6 चंद्रेश भाई. 96
Exactly.
for 6 का ऑपोजिशन. मतलब हम एक ऐसा पोजीशन में आए उस टेस्ट मैच में जहां मैच बचा रहे हैं. 96 पे 6 पे हमने उनको मैट पे डाल रखा था. मतलब वहां से आपने पैट कमिंस को फ्रीली स्कोर करने दिया.
137
सारा इन आउट फील्ड ले लिया, जहां पे पैट कमिंस जब 6 विकेट ले लेता है, 7 फील्डर अराउंड द बैट रहते हैं. बट हमारे भाई साहब एकदम पता नहीं कौन से मोल्ड में थे उस दिन. वो बोले सबको सिंगल लो भाई, खुले आम सिंगल लो. मार्नस लाबुशेन एंड पैट कमिंस dealt with Bumrah like they were dealing with a Harry Shield bowler. यार, that plan was so sorted in their head, and Rohit allowed them to continue with that plan.
Correct.
वो strike rotation इतना easy हुआ कि Pat Cummins didn't really face Jasprit Bumrah when he was on song. वो बचते चले गए, and that partnership kind of blossomed, and Cummins ended up scoring those crucial 40 odd runs, which actually
What about
cost
Lyon?
them the game.
Yeah,
Lyon
see the
and
last
Boland.
4 pieces. The
हाँ,
last 4
Nathan Lyon
players,
और बोलेंड से
they
मार खाया.
scored 137 runs. The last 4 players scored 137 runs and they took it
अरे
completely away.
स्कॉट बोलेंड ऑन दी अप मोहम्मद सिराज को ड्राइव कर रहा है भाई.
Correct.
मतलब मैं तो उसके बाद टर्न अप ही नहीं करता सिडनी में. मैं बोल देता मेरा स्पैजम हो गया भाई. स्कॉट बोलेंड और
चलो.
नेथन लायन से मैं चौके खा रहा हूँ. मैं आता ही नहीं. मैं डीएसपी
Wonderful.
ड्यूटी पे
So-
चला जाता. बट ये
I'll
now
tell
the
you-
final round of
I'll tell you
questions.
one thing.
Yes, Saurabh.
The tactical error that India made is that last summer ना, जब स्कॉट बोलैंड को एक भी मैच नहीं मिल रहा था because Stark, Hazelwood and Cummins were playing everything without getting injured, we didn't try to recruit him. वो कर लेते ना तो उस टाइम करना चाहिए था.
Today has been a sensational episode with all sorts of kind of suggestions being given. But final round of questions I need to ask you. Now Rohit is dropped. He's anyway supposed to retire after the Sydney Test. We hope so. And now Bumrah, the workload thing, Srini, that is there. Who do you see a regular captain in Test matches for India after the BGT? Do you see Bumrah leading now for a long time?
Oh, long तो पता नहीं है till his body lasts. See, who do I see as the regular Test captain of India going forward?
Uh-huh.
Jasprit Bumrah. Do I agree with Jasprit Bumrah being the captain? No, I don't.
Oh.
It's I'll tell you a very simple thing. आप रेस कोर्स देखते हो, आप रेस कोर्स में जो सबसे अच्छा घोड़ा होता है, जो आपको
Hmm.
पता है, ये जभी भी दौड़ेगा आपको डर्बी जिता के देगा, ये जभी भी दौड़ेगा आपको जैकपॉट ला के देगा, राइट? द मोस्ट prized possession in a race course is there's one horse, right? Such a horse, you will not run that horse in every damn race. It's as simple as that. There's a stallion
Oh.
there. You know how important that stallion is. So you're not going to run that stallion in every damn race. It's like having a Ferrari. You're not going to take out a Ferrari out of your house for every damn ride. You know that you're going to take a Ferrari outside your house when the occasion demands it. Jasprit Bumrah is like that stallion. He's like that Ferrari, right? So you got to use it cautiously. You got to this is not about how much money you can put on the table. This is Jasprit Bumrah. It's a priceless commodity.
Correct.
How well you use it determines how long that commodity lasts and how preciously you can make use of it. I think that should sum up what I'm trying to say. You
Correct.
cannot, you cannot. He's not run of the mill, and a captain is somebody who's got to be there on the field with the team 24/7. Imagine Bumrah having to spoil his mind over, see, captaincy is not just going on the field and deciding कौन किधर bowling डाले, कितना bowling डालेगा, कौन सा batting order में आएगा, whatever, right? It's about, kind of being a leader of a
Tactical.
group. And when you're a leader of a
Yes.
group, you kind of got to look at it from all. See, there's a reason why Sachin Tendulkar was never, a great captain, despite being a great cricketing mind. Was the fact that he put so much effort in his own game, in his own batting, at all points, that it got difficult as a human being to start wrapping your head around, all sorts of things, right? From that same standpoint, it's when you know that you have a match winner on cards, why are you going to kind of lose it and lose that card and play it every now and then? I mean, from that standpoint, I think BCCI should protect Jasprit Bumrah on the longer run. I would be more than happy if BCCI said, you know what, we will pay Jasprit Bumrah 20 CR to not play IPL. I would love it if
Hmm.
I we take that money from
Arre,
me,
re.
you don't play the IPL, or play selectively. I'm just thinking aloud. I mean, some things are easier
It is
said
good. I
than
mean,
actually done,
see,
but I'm
Srini,
just thinking aloud
Srini,
that I would
yeah,
protect
your
Jasprit
tweet
Bumrah. I
was
mean, look at a credit to Australia and England that every time they've had in their prime, the Pat Cummins and the Mitchell Starks of the world, and never ever did the James Andersons of the world, waste their time playing the IPL, because they knew or they realized they were made for a different set of circumstances. I mean, and they did what they did in their careers. Fair enough. Doesn't stick to everyone. Having said that, I think I answered your question. I think a lot more. I think Jasprit Bumrah, the Test captain, is not even the talking point here. I think the larger talking point here is Rohit Sharma. Having dropped from this Test match, was this his last Test or as captain, or was this his last cricket match as captain? I think that's the larger question, which I don't know. That is something that you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
think about.
चंद्रेश, या ये तो इन्होंने और नए सवाल खड़े कर दिए.
नहीं, मुझे पहली बात तो श्रीनी फैक्ट दैट ही यूज्ड फरारी एंड सचिन तेंदुलकर इन द सेम सेंटेंस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. But apart from that, I think that he makes a very good point, because now the bigger question is, what does India do with Jasprit Bumrah? Do they make him play the one dayers against England, which they won't? Do they make him play Champions Trophy? Is it important for India to win Champions Trophy? Do they make him play that? That is minimum 3 games, maximum 5 games. If India makes it to the final, what happens there? Without Jasprit Bumrah, does India have the bowling attack to do anything in Champions Trophy on the flat pitches in Dubai? I don't think so. Then the other question is, then we have the IPL for 3.5 months. Then you have 5 test series against England. In
Right.
that scenario, I don't know how Jasprit Bumrah can be a full-time test captain. And that's why I think someone has come in and said that I can fix the problem for you guys by being the short-term captain. But should that person be someone like a Virat, or should that person be someone like a KL Rahul, or should that person be someone like a Rishabh Pant? That's a call that Indian cricket has to take, and that's where I think the confusion has to be sorted. That's where communication is very important, because you will end up having three captains, but for no joy, because you have no plan for the future. You don't know what's going to happen from June. And just like Srini said, Jasprit Bumrah, you imagine 5 test matches in England, the captaincy, the weight of trying to find out if Shami is fit, not fit, this player is in form, not in form. He has to bowl well himself. He has to follow up this 30-wicket series with a 40-wicket series in England next year.
Oh,
For that, he
oh.
can't be burdened with captaincy, in my view.
Yeah, Srini, quickly.
And people are asking, I think a lot of people on Twitter also were asking me, Rohit Sharma, should he be the captain of the Champions Trophy team, or will he go? I mean, I don't know what Gautam Gambhir is thinking right now, sitting in Australia. मुझे नहीं पता. But logic, I mean, Rohit का birthday है, April में उसका birthday, April 30th is his birthday, right? He will turn what, 38 on April 30th.
Yes.
He turns 38.
Officially, yeah.
Officially.
So the next, क्या यार चंद्रेश, ट्रम्प तकलीफ में डालेगा लोगों को. So the World Cup, the 50 over World Cup is in 2027 in South Africa, right? Technically, by the time you get there, 26, 27, you'll be 40 years old. So do you see Rohit Sharma playing the ODI World Cup? No, I see. Technically, purely based on fitness, you do see Virat Kohli playing that World Cup. Do you see Rohit Sharma playing that World Cup? No, I'm sure his fans would be hurt. They wouldn't like to hear something like that.
Mm.
Fact is that Rohit is not going to play that World Cup. So for this Champions Trophy alone, are you going to make that exception, or are you going to put your foot down? As in by you, I mean Ajit Agarkar and Gautam Gambhir. If at all,
Right.
they have been given the freedom by this BCCI. Half the time, the problem between BCCI and professionals is professionals complain कि हमारे पास freedom ही नहीं. So does these set of people have the freedom to take these calls? They've all been through that passage of time. They've all been cricketers in their own time. Gautam can blame the world and its cousins for the premature retirement he had in his career, right? So Gautam again he's probably the best judge of things right now in terms of what is a longer rope to be given to the players vis-a-vis what exactly how soon to cut them short. I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. So from all of that, if you take into consideration, then probably you will have to take a practical call on Rohit and say, no, I have a team to kind of work on, and I have a unit kind of pure format. I have 2 years to do that. So I think I should move on. That Rohit has no long-term standing in any format. He will be going away. There's no doubt about it. So अगर आप रिटायरमेंट, हैप्पी रिटायरमेंट देना है, ग्रेट ओडीआई प्लेयर, ग्रेट ओडीआई. अगर आपको अच्छा रिटायरमेंट देना है तो आप बेसिकली
Unbelievable. I mean, this is unbelievable, and that's what we have. I was going to ask, sort of just option, Bumrah nahi to kaun? Give me names.
No, then I think KL Rahul is the logical choice, if not Bumrah, because he to abhi the way he's playing, he looks like being only a test format player for India. So and he's been doing well in that, to give him credit. So and he's captained the team before. He has the seniority.
Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh Pant, I think after that shot in Melbourne, uska captaincy thoda sa.
I wanted to hear that. So this is good. Anyways, so it has been an engaging.
But I just want to say that Rohit's current form and all absolutely warrants his dropping. But I just want to give a word of appreciation for the cricketer he has been. I think he has been fantastic. He has. It might not have shown in this series, but I do feel he has been like a selfless sort of leader, and he has been a good leader. He has been a great ODI batsman. Like Srini said, I would have him in my India all-time 11 opening alongside Sachin. So he is. He should be given his due. I would like it if he gets like a nice farewell. Doesn't mean he has to play in Sydney, but at least a nice farewell.
We'll arrange for that.
He's right.
Yeah.
I totally agree with Saurabh here. As an ODI cricketer, a giant, an absolute giant, even in Test cricket. the last two WTC cycles that you made it to the final.
Yes, yes.
That I have said this before also. I think 2021 when England came here. Full credit to Rohit. The way we lost that first test against England in Chennai.
Yeah.
The second test is 161 or 164. He scored.
161. Yeah, that was amazing. Like
But what
I
a
mean,
knock!
sometimes you
I think the only guy
devalue.
who got
Yeah,
out
sometimes
of
you
play was
devalue home performances, but like that was as good as it gets. And
And
exactly.
so, yeah.
Second,
I think
second
Rohit
WTC
has.
cycle again. The series started in Nagpur against Australia.
Hmm.
That 147 he scored in Australia.
Hmm.
I bet you, like, had Rohit not got that century, India would have lost that test match. And
Yeah,
if India
yeah.
would have lost
Right.
the Nagpur test match, we wouldn't have really made a comeback in that series.
Hmm.
We all remember how that series panned out and what happened in
Definitely.
Indore, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So all said and done, Rohit at home, the test batsman that he was, especially against this team which doesn't understand how to play spin. That
Hmm.
stands true for Virat also.
Hmm.
Rohit was a guiding light.
Hmm.
Now, as I said, ये problem हमारे साथ क्या है? We run so high in emotions is that just because something happened correctly in 2021, we think it should
Yeah.
continue happening in 24, 25, 26, 27. Doesn't
Hmm.
work like that, right? So I don't know. I mean, moving on वाला concept हमारे यहाँ, you know, होता ही नहीं है.
नहीं होता है. Yes,
But I
Chandresh,
think
you had.
I just want to point that has underachieved as a Test cricketer. And I think he's always been very unlucky in Test cricket because he was supposed to make his debut in 2010 in Nagpur. He twisted his ankle. It took him 3 more years to make his Test debut. So, and he was always sandwiched between the previous era. Now he's sandwiched
And
in
this
this
era.
era. So he's just caught in between. For
और
him to be part, huh?
उसको इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं था टेस्ट क्रिकेट में.
नहीं था.
चंद्रेश, उसको वो अपनी दुनिया में खुश था, बहुत हैप्पी था वो. ही वाज हैप्पी. उसको टेस्ट क्रिकेट से कोई लेना, वो अपना आईपीएल खेल रहा था, वनडे क्रिकेट खेल रहा था, T20 वर्ल्ड कप खेल रहा था, बड़ा हैप्पी था. सडनली ये
Hamstring
ब्रांड
pull कर
वॉर
रहा था.
हो गया, पीआर उसकी जिंदगी में आ गए, ब्रांड वाले लोग आ गए, बोले यू आर एज बिग एज विराट, ओनली इफ यू प्ले टेस्ट क्रिकेट यू वुड बी राइट अप देयर. उसको अच्छा मैं बताता हूँ, मैं भी बड़ा क्रिकेटर. वो आया सडनली and he did a great job at it.
Yes.
Otherwise, until for the longest time, you're right. He was unlucky, but also coupled with the fact that he had no interest. I mean, I was
Yeah.
talking to a very mutual friend last week, and he was like, Virat, if he has to let go of test cricket, वो एक महीना सोचेगा, हो सकता है डिप्रेशन में भी चला जाए. With these guys, like, हाँ ठीक है यार, कल से निकलूंगा. He is very chill about it. Like, the person that he is and all, he's pretty chill about it. I think जितना ये so called उसके जो Twitter warriors है जो सोच रहे हैं इतना, उतना वो सोचता नहीं है. He's already kind of, for a lot many things in life, he's already kind of moved on and he's
Sorted.
pretty sorted.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
since we are on this show and since we are on this subject, I will break something here and I'll tell you, I think, which is not there in public space. Okay, which a
Srini,
lot of
wait.
people
Srini,
will
wait.
find it very difficult to
Yeah, Srini, just a moment.
digest.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
And now
so
you can say that.
people need to understand this. Rohit Sharma did not ask for Test captaincy. When Virat Kohli gave away Test captaincy, Rohit Sharma did not ask for it. Rohit Sharma's only condition was that don't just give me T20 captaincy, give me ODI captaincy also. If you expect me to take over as captain, give me the entire white ball leadership role, not just half of it. That is the condition that he and his team put. And I was tracking this very closely. I mean, I would track this at that time. I was tracking this as a reporter. I tracked this on a daily basis. Rohit never asked for test captaincy. This is BCCI at that point taking this overexcited call and saying कि इसको सब कुछ दे दो, यहाँ से लो और सब कुछ उसको ट्रांसफर कर दो, which was at that point, and I used to say this on Twitter, लेकिन वो पूरा तब तक हंगामा हो चुका था, and you know how Twitter works, तब तक किसी को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. At that time there was a prudent call they could have taken, because remember when Rahul Dravid took over as the test captain, there was no big cricket that was going to happen in Sena countries for 2 years, right? After Rahul's only big assignment was a tour of South Africa. Otherwise, most of the cricket that we played was at home. until this tour of Australia, we were really not going to travel abroad. Now
Correct.
we've come in Australia. We come to Australia. Next year we go to England, and then the year and after that we go to South Africa.
New Zealand.
Had we understood this in 2021 when Virat decided to step down as captain, and at that point, had we said that no, let us invest in someone new, someone long term who will see through us, during our tours on the Senna tours, we wouldn't be facing this problem today. So let's not blame Rohit here because Rohit के गोद में आके वो गिरा टेस्ट कैप्टनसी. He did not ask for it. And on that front, having said that, did he do a good job? Agar did a damn good job. He did an absolute good job of it. I think and time will judge.
और इस सब के
Definitely.
बीच में
What?
बीसीसीआई का वेबसाइट भी क्रैश हो गया.
So this has been one of the
I'm saying
most
that what
engaging.
Srini has said is absolutely right. What he's sent out a message. और लॉन्ग टर्म प्लानिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है इंडिया में
नहीं है.
कि आगे का क्या करना है. अभी भी हम सोच रहे हैं कि ये टेस्ट मैच निकल जाए, फिर बाद में जून का देख लेंगे, क्योंकि बाद में मार्च टू जून बाद में रोज हर महीने स्टोरी आएगा, हर 15 दिन में सेलेक्टर्स मेट दिस फेलो, सेलेक्टर्स मेट दिस फेलो, सेलेक्टर्स मेट गौतम गंभीर, सेलेक्टर्स हैड कॉफी विद गौतम गंभीर, दे डिसाइडेड हु विल बी द कैप्टन इन जून फॉर द इंग्लैंड टूर. इस तरह से हम प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं इंग्लैंड टूर के लिए, जबकि इंग्लैंड ने आगे का प्लानिंग करना शुरू भी कर दिया है कि आगे उसके बाद एशेस में भी कौन उनके फास्ट बॉलर्स होंगे, और हमें अभी भी पीछे लगे हैं.
Unbelievable. So today's show was absolutely engaging, and I tell you, this has been one of the most engaging show on Beyond the Boundary. Lots and lots of things. So Shubh, Roshan, and Dheeraj, thank you for your comments. I mean, today all the viewers have got so much of masala, and that is what TOI Sports is all about. That is what Beyond the Boundary is all about. So probably after this show, we may have special communication skills for a lot of people, long-term planning for a lot of people, and our suggestion to all of you is that if you want to enjoy Beyond the Boundary, please do not use caramelized popcorn. Use normal popcorn for the benefit of everyone. KSR, Saurabh, Chandresh, and Sahil back at Australia and Sydney. Thank you very much. Once again, wishing everyone a very, very happy new year. Please like, share this video. It's a long one, but it's a fantastic, brilliant interactions with everyone. And please do subscribe to our channel. So this is what we have for today. Tomorrow we'll be there. In fact, again, because tomorrow the big test is happening at Sydney, and we'll get more for you on Beyond Boundary. Thank you, gentlemen. And this is Pankaj Athavale signing off.